In my last video, I talked about how a game's environment can create immersion. This time, I want to talk about something just as important, a game's introduction. The introduction is what sets the stage for everything that follows. It's your first promise to the player. This is the kind of experience you're about to have. Honestly, in today's gaming landscape, it feels rare for a game to captivate you the way older games did. Not because modern games are worse, but because attention is harder to hold. Once I saw a post on Instagram from a pixel artist who said that during a stormy night in the 1980s, a lightning bolt struck their house while they were playing Mega Man, and since then, they've been trapped in a time loop creating art that looks like it came from that era. I love that idea because for a lot of us, those early games did trap us in time. Growing up, there were introductions that completely pulled me in, and there are still rare games today that manage to do the same. So today, I want to talk about a few game intros that left me with unforgettable experiences. Ah, yes, Super Metroid, a classic for a reason. The title screen alone creates a sense of unease and mystery. You see fallen scientists, a Metroid in captivity, and no explanation, just atmosphere. Then, the game begins with an epic prologue.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at
As
peace.
Samus writes a journal entry recounting the events of the previous games, the flashbacks appear in muted Game Boy like tones, grounding the story in its past. Considering Metroid 2, I feel, is where the series truly took shape, this intro feels like a bridge connecting what came before to what's about to unfold. The result is a cold, militaristic space epic. You immediately feel like you're stepping into something dangerous, lonely, and massive. Before you ever fire a shot, Super Metroid tells you exactly what kind of journey this is going to be.
When I think of Marine, I think of two
Whenever
things.
I'm in the mood for a little
Asphalt
action, attitude, and
trouble.
heavy metal, there's only one game I always think of. Full Throttle. This point-and-click adventure has a flawless sense of tone, incredible performances, including Mark Hamill as the villain, clever puzzles, and surprisingly intense action sequences. But the opening, that's where it locks you in. The moment the music kicks in, it feels like discovering heavy metal for the first time. Like engines, guitars, and treble all speak the same language. Every time I watch that intro, I'm reminded that games do not need explosions to be powerful. Sometimes all it takes is confidence, style, and a clear sense of identity. When it's over, there's really only one thing left to say. When my brother and I made the jump from consoles to PC gaming on Windows 95, oh yeah, there were PC games and then there were Blizzard games. The first time I saw the opening cinematic for Warcraft II, The Tides of Darkness, it felt like being dropped straight into the middle of the grandest fantasy war imaginable. Like the Google Maps Pegman landing right into the heart of chaos. The narration, the music, the visuals, everything worked together to tell you this wasn't just a strategy game. This was an epic. What I love the most is how that feeling carries forward. Before every mission, you're briefed, you're given context, you understand the stakes. From the very beginning, the game treats you like a commander, not just a player. There was a certain electricity in the air every time you popped in Super Smash Bros. Melee into the GameCube. Before a single match started, before any rules were set, the game already told you everything you need to know. Mario comes to life, a familiar world awakens, and then that melody begins. A beautiful celebration of Nintendo's history, weaving together characters you instantly recognized, characters you grew up with. This intro wasn't about tension or mystery, it was about anticipation. You knew exactly what this game was. You knew who you were about to play, And most importantly, you knew you were about to have a good time. Melee's opening didn't just introduce a fighting game, it felt like a reunion, a reminder that these worlds, these characters, and these moments were about to collide in the most joyful way possible. And the second that menu appeared, the room was already buzzing. When I first played Chrono Trigger, what stuck with me the most was how emotionally powerful the story felt. The awe of watching the time portal open, the fear of seeing a world destroyed, the courage of Frog shattering the mountains, the excitement of piloting the time ship. These moments stayed with me. As a kid, I used to rent this game on the Super Nintendo. Years later, when I played it on the PlayStation with the animated cutscenes, all those feelings came rushing back. Every time I see that opening now, I'm right back in my basement with my brother discovering this world for the first time. When we think of fairy tales, we think of magic, mystery, and stories that stay with us long after they end. That's the only way I can describe my first experience with The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The title screen alone feels like a promise. The music, the open field, the quiet anticipation of something great. Then the story begins. The Deku Tree calls out to Navi, asking her to awaken the hero of time. You see a character you're about to play trapped in a nightmare, a princess fleeing from something dark and unknown. In just a few minutes, the game establishes wonder, danger, and destiny. It doesn't rush you, it invites you. Great game introductions don't just teach you how to play, they teach you how to feel. They create mood, build anticipation, and plant memories that last for decades. Long before graphics or mechanics are judged, the intro decides whether a game earns your attention and your heart. For me, these openings weren't just the start of games. They were moments, snapshots in time. And even now, years later, all it takes is a title screen or a few notes of music to bring it all rushing back. Because sometimes the most powerful part of a game happens before you ever press start.